Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. What's up, everybody? Welcome to TMPG. Sorry, I was doing my vocal exercises. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bumblebee. Okay, so today's recording went a lot of different ways in my head. At first, I was like, record something early in the day, just watch the NBA Finals later in the evening, no big deal. And then I was like, no, I should record myself watching the NBA Finals because it's probably the final game of the series. Let's face it, Boston's going to sweep. I was like, my reaction will be genuine and it'll be good. It'll be interesting content. So like, all right, we'll record the NBA Finals game. And then I got a DM on my phone from my parents. Apparently they're in town, and they'll be over in an hour or two. They got to do a dinner with some friends, and then they're like coming to see me. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, can't record myself playing, or can't record myself watching the NBA Finals because if mom and dad walk through that door, mom doesn't want to be on stream. Dad doesn't care, but mom doesn't want to be on stream, and there's the front door right there, right on stream. So they're we're a walk-in family, so it's not like I can, have them knock on the. I'm excited to see him. Super excited to see him, but like now I got to change everything. So now what we're gonna do is a quick game of 2K, and then we'll this one will be in, quick out. Get something recorded today. I'm a little bummed I don't get to record the NBA Finals game. Not like the game, but like my reaction to the game. That was kind of fun. I did that the other day on game 2, and I enjoyed it. So I wish I could do that again, but real life, family, social calendar, that sort of shit. Not usually a very big problem for your boy, but in this case tonight it is. So I think it's Boston. I don't think Dallas gets a game. I just don't think they get a game. I early in the series, like before the series started, I was like, maybe star for star, like the two big names. Maybe if Kyrie and Luka both play out of their heads, and like in the West, Dallas's defense was looking good. So I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna do some of these. But after that, not the first game. Boston winning the first game made sense to me. And then that second game where Boston played like absolute garbage and Dallas still couldn't win the game, I was like, oh, this series is over. Like Boston, every playoff series has that one bad game. And even on that one bad game, they seem to have every playoff series where they just can't shoot the ball well and like the other team can get off. The defense slips a little bit and the turnovers they go crazy with the turnovers and stuff. They had that game in game 2, right? And still beat the Mavericks pretty handily. Never felt like the game was out of control. You know what I mean? So I just have no expectation of anything changing. Since game 2, I was like, oh, this is over then. I was like, that's the worst game they're going to play this series. And Dallas couldn't get that one. I mean, albeit it was in Boston, and I get that. But, like, yeah, I felt pretty confident that the series was over at that point. Okay, I should be able to make that. This Dylan Brooks thing is going to be annoying. So, yeah, we're just kind of moving on to the... I mean, I want to watch the game, though. It's so rare that I get to watch the basketball game because I don't have cable or anything. So most of my basketball is, highlights on YouTube and shit. With the NBA Finals, they're on like a regular network television channel. So I can get my bunny ears out and get the channel, which is kind of exciting. Oh, beautiful. I just think, I mean, they're in Dallas, and I think if there was a game Dallas was going to win in their own house, it was going to be the last one. And they came out hot, but Luka's not got to stop crying, dude. He's a big crybaby. Luka is just the epitome of a crybaby. He's exactly what you think of when you think crybaby. And I've been saying that for years. You guys know this. On my channel, since Luka dropped in the NBA, I was like, I don't think I like Luka Doncic. Very early on, I said this. And I don't really like Luka. I love rooting against Boston, but I don't like Luka. So I'm not even that butthurt that it's not going, Dallas's way. Kyrie in the past has been really annoying, so I have no reason to love Kyrie. Although I do like the kind of Kyrie he's been recently. So like a part of me wanted things to go better for him now that he's acting like an adult. being consistent on the basketball court and not giving the media a bunch of nonsense to chew on for weeks and weeks. Ah, bro. Bro, they make Dylan Brooks so good on this game, by the way. That's what's happening right now. We should be off to a huge lead right now, if not for Dylan Brooks being in the mix. I was about to jump Sanguine. That's my bad. Yeah, he doesn't make that shot. He's a bum. Well, that's beautiful. So was that hook shot. I also like new Kyrie as well. Yeah, I like he's shutting up. He's just playing ball. He's not been quotable in for like a year or so now. It's like, all right. I mean, his basketball's always been undeniable. It's just he couldn't shut the fuck up, in the interviews and stuff. He couldn't stop saying dumb shit that pissed people off. So it's like now that he stopped doing that, I got no problem with Kyrie. Luka got them white boy handles. Luka plays like James Harden, the white boy version. He's a white James Harden. For the same reason I dislike James Harden, the way he manipulates the game of basketball and basically relies on the refs for his offense, I think Luka does the very same thing. Except for Luka's way more of a crybaby about it. That's me fouling. That's my bad. I fouled him. Luka might be my least favorite player in the NBA. He is the definition of a crybaby. He's finally starting to get some press for it now that he's crybabying in the finals. But he's been this motherfucker his entire career. I don't know why people don't see it. He's constantly chirping to the refs, constantly crying about the whistles he's not getting. He's the biggest baby out there. Moreover, his game is contingent on him getting whistles. He needs to get early whistles in games so that the defense has to bag off of him. And once the defense can bag off, then he can get into his bag. And then he starts doing all the highlight shit that we all see on SportsCenter. What you don't see is the fucking 10 or 12 plays before that where he forces contact. Either gets the guy guarding him in foul trouble and or gets the team in foul trouble and or gets his individual defender just a little bit timid on the defensive end because, the fouls. Like, he needs them, and he's not getting them. He's not getting them in the NBA Finals, and in doing so, and not getting those, he can't get started. He's still having good games, but by his standards, these are not good games. And for all the talk early in the series about, oh, well, Luka's teammates need to step up. No, Luka's teammates only step up when Luka's going. Like, it only works when Luka's going, dude. They can't step up if Luka's not going. They're open, but they're not as open as they are if Luka's doing his magic. What's his magic? His magic is convincing the refs that everything's a foul and getting constant whistles. That's his magic. It's not three or layup like Harden, because he does have a mid-range game, but I would argue he's just Harden with a mid-range game. He's just adding that Harden mentality that, blow the whistle, fake it till I feel contact offense that Harden used to do. Harden used to do that with his layups at the rim and or his step back 3-pointer. Luka does the same step back 3-pointer. He does the same shit at the rim, but he also adds to it a mid-range game where he stops and hopes that the guy crashes into him so he can go, ugh. It's not basketball. It's exploitive basketball. It's exploitive offense, and it's not, for me, fun to watch. It's bitch made, and add to that, he's a crybaby. I don't like Luka. Luka's a bum. He's not a bum. Obviously, he's very effective, and he got his team to the NBA Finals almost single-handedly. But at the end of the day, stop it. If you like that kind of basketball, what's wrong with you? That's my 2 cents. Who likes that kind of basketball? It's gross. So I say all that to say this. I have been trying to root for the Mavs in this finals because I just love rooting against Boston and LA. The legacy teams piss me off. They always have. I do feel like they get so many advantages. Not advantages, but they get the benefit of every doubt because they're the Lakers and the Celtics. I feel like it's in the league's best interest to take care of those two teams because they have the two biggest fan bases in our sport. So I feel like they definitely get calls sometimes. I think they definitely get schedules sometimes that are helpful. I feel like they get every opportunity to better themselves, free agents wise and trade wise, and all the things that the league could step in and moderate to some degree. And don't give me that Chris Paul trade getting vetoed. That was just so the league didn't look completely corrupt. That was the one example you can give me. So many other examples of trades going their way that the league wouldn't, for the good of the game, the league shouldn't have approved so many different trades over the years. Not the least of which Was it Drew Holiday? The Drew Holiday was like a 3 or 4 team trade, so like it's not exactly the same thing. But like, you mean to tell me they want to get rid of Marcus Smart and for almost giving away almost nothing, they got the best defensive point guard in the entire league? It's like how they managed to, how that all managed to happen. Drew Holiday leaving the Bucks, never having to play in Portland, not a single game, never even suited up, and then to be over to Boston, like it took like a week for Boston to be like, oh, Milwaukee's making a move, and they're listen. Milwaukee's allowed to make a move for Dame Lillard. It was an interesting move. I don't agree with it, but it was an interesting move. They're allowed to make that move, but within like weeks, it was like, oh, the Celtics have the best point guard in the defensive point guard in the whole league now. Oh, cool. That kind of magic happens for the Lakers and the Celtics on a routine basis and has for decades if you really follow the sport. So I have no problem rooting against the legacy teams. I do not like the 2 legacy teams, the Lakers and the Celtics. I just routinely root against them because fuck those teams. As a Pistons fan, it's hard because we don't get any breaks, bro. Nothing goes our fucking way. Ever, dude. We have to grind and fight and fucking literally beat people up on the basketball court to get championships in Detroit. We get no shine. We get no help. We get no advantageous schedules and or, trades fucking speed ran through the main office and everything else that happens with fucking those 2 goddamn franchises. So, I say all that to say this. I'm not rooting for the Celtics, but let's not kid ourselves. They're going to smash the Mavs tonight. It's not going to be worth watching, really, other than the fact that it's basketball and it's the last little bit of basketball we're going to see before the end of the season. I mean, it is the official end of the season tonight. It's going to be over. Congratulations, 18 banners, dude. Boston, you bunch of shitbags. Talk about a stacked team. I mean, it's crazy. So I was hoping that Luka and Kyrie could do a little something, at least make it a series, or like, I mean, I would have loved if they would have beat them. That'd have been fucking poetry for Kyrie to come back into town and beat the team he left on such bad terms. The team he left with such a bad taste in his mouth. I mean, for Boston fans, nothing would have been nothing worse than Kyrie coming into town with a new team and beating them for a championship. Can you imagine? Celtics fans would have shit their pants, dude. There was a part of me that wanted that just because the beautiful poetry of it, the story of it. As many people, there's equal amount, if not more people that like the story of, now the Celtics get to beat up Kyrie for all the things, all the bullshit they put him through and he put them through and blah, blah, blah. I get that story too. I'm just a little more invested in the other one, just given all the things I've just told you about how I feel about the legacy teams, right? Like, I get that the main narrative is, yeah, Kyrie, how's it feel now, fuckface? Boston's beating the shit out of Kyrie for all the bullshit he put them through. I get that. I get that most people are taking that narrative. I would take the opposite. Poetic justice, there you go, yeah. It's like now Kyrie's an adult, now Kyrie's a leader, and now Kyrie's ready to, win a championship against a team that he wasn't a leader with, that he wasn't ready with, that he wasn't, he's done a lot of maturing, and now he's going to walk into town with his new team. But, bro, it's just not going to happen. Like, cute story. I would have liked it. I would have had a lot of fun with it. I think there's plenty of people out there that hate the Celtics that would have enjoyed that storyline. Blocked. Fuck out of here, bro. What are you doing? Bogey, be somebody. Ah, you're terrible, Bogdanovich. You're terrible, dude. Brother versus brother. Brother versus brother. Get him. Oh, get him. He's not getting him. He's getting him. Bro, he's actually getting him. Give me that. That's how you do it. You finish it like that. Would have been a very cute story. Yeah, I think it could. I would have liked it. But hey, this works too. I've said as much on recordings in the past couple of years as well. Like when they played Golden State in the finals, the Celtics did the other year, or when Miami beat him in the Eastern Conference, which was kind of a fluke, went on to get just absolutely crushed by the Nuggets. I was like, they're not ready yet. I said they're going to have the next decade. Boston's going to have the next decade of basketball, championship-wise, and the finals will go through Boston for the next 10 years or so. Their roster is wildly locked up, incredibly young, all things considering. They'll probably have, I mean, once they put the big money on Tatum, they'll probably have some room to maneuver for their bench and role players and stuff even in the next few years because their main two guys are going to be locked up long term after they pay Tatum this summer. So like it's going to go through Boston for the next decade. I just wasn't in a rush to have that start happening. I was saying this kind of stuff when they were playing against Golden State. I said all of those things, and then I said, but Golden State's got one more championship in them, and they did in fact have one more championship in them. I couldn't have even believed for a second that Miami was going to get past the Celtics last year. I felt like that was a foregone conclusion that they were going to beat the Miami Heat, but Miami Heat pulled the miracle out and then got absolutely shellacked in the NBA Finals, if you guys recall last year with Denver. This year, it's like Dallas pulls the miracle on Minnesota. Do you think it would have been a better series with Minnesota and the Celtics? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe that could have been a more fun NBA Finals. I don't want Karl Anthony Towns anywhere near an NBA Finals. He doesn't deserve it. He's a bum. Rudy Gobert, fuck Rudy Gobert. He bothers me. There's like a lot. I mean, I love a Mike Conley. Ant-Man is legit the future of the league. Anthony Edwards is that dude. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo over there. Kyle Anderson coming off their bench. Love that guy. His basketball IQ is so high, going all the way back to like Memphis and even before that. I don't remember what team he was on before that, but I remember him. Oh, San Antonio. I think he was in San Antonio at one point. It's like, bro, this guy gets it. He plays at his own speed, but he gets it. He's very good. A lot of things you could like about Minnesota. There's just a couple of pieces. Those two bigs they have. Naz Reid's a motherfucker. That guy's a beast. Love him. Love a lot about that team. McDaniels, that McDaniels kid, that wing they have. My beef with Cat is he's corny. He's just so corny. And then he does himself zero favors in interviews, talking about he knows how he changed the league. What the fuck? How did you change the league, fuckface? What have you done? You've done nothing. Like, corny interviews, being too much of a bitch to play the five, settling, like having to be moved off his natural position because he's too much of a pussy, and then now trying to bully at power forward and act all tough when he pushes a fucking guy who's like 3-4 inches shorter and 40 pounds lighter under the hoop and like get the post move to go, and he goes like up the court like he's some sort of fucking tough guy. Bitch, you're out of position because you're so much of a fucking pussy. There's nothing tough about you. Rudy Gobert is just I don't like the way Rudy Gobert was cavalier about the COVID thing when it first happened. He was licking mics and being silly about it. It's like, bitch, the whole league's on the verge of shutting down. You're going to fucking play games? What are you doing? Also, Gobert is wildly overrated as a defender. Karl Anthony Towns having to sit down at the barbershop, sit down with, I don't remember who the third person, I think it was Draymond Green maybe, and my boy Chet Holmgren over in Oklahoma City, you know, Chet, and sat down with him before the draft, and Cat's like, the most important thing is being drafted number one. And even Draymond in the room's going like, wait, what? That's not, nobody gives a fuck about that. That's not important at all. Landing somewhere where you could be, you know, an instant impact player and helpful and blah, 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 blah. Like, Draymond says a bunch of stuff, and then Cat's like, you know, because I was the number one pick, so, like, I know that, like, the importance of being number one, I really wanted to be number one. I felt like it was really important that I was number one. Like, what does that have to do with anything ever? That's not important to anybody ever in the history of ever, dude. You know, that's like his one accomplishment. Cat's one accomplishment was being number one pick, pretty much, right? Was he even the number one pick? I don't even remember. I don't know. Karl Anthony Towns is annoying. Now they're going to come to our house. Remember that audio clip from the sidelines? I don't know, a couple years ago? Now they're going to come to our house. Fast forward to them coming to their house, and they blew them out by 20 points. Yeah, what happened, and now they got to come to our house? Got the Rona after that. Did he get the Rona, or you got the Rona? Yeah, I didn't like the way he was handling that. He was playing it for a joke. And listen, I don't think the Rona was as big a deal as the world made it, but I also didn't want basketball to shut down. So, like, if it's, you know, treat it with a certain amount of seriousness, dude. At that point, I was like, dude, treat it with some seriousness, dude. We don't really actually know what this is, and also, there's a real risk that basketball can get shut down. Like, how about we don't shut basketball down at the same time? I don't know. But even so, like, I got players in Dallas I don't like. I mean, every team has a couple guys where I'm like, fuck that guy. He did. Oh, he got it right after that? Yeah, good. Good. Nice. Brother on brother right there. Dunked on him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Minnesota would have had it much, but I just don't. It would have been a defensive masterclass of a. It'd been a defensive masterclass of a series for sure, but I don't think that'd have been more fun to watch than what we have here, necessarily. And the abundance of bigs would not have helped Minnesota. Don't give Boston a reason to step out to the 30 feet and shoot threes. That's all they want to do is step out to shoot. Who you hate? I hate Josh Giddey and the fact that he's put a fucking negative. Yeah, besides Giddey, that's okay. I was gonna say. I hate that Lou Dort plays the three and plays the two, not the three. I hate that he's like 3 inches too short. Love him. He's a defensive beast, but they have to like play him at the 3 or the 2 because of Giddey instead of the 3, which is his natural position. Albeit he's a little undersized, but like he's like 240. Like he's stocky as fuck. He's a bully. I like Dort, but I don't like him at the 2. And because of Giddey, he plays the 2. So get Giddey the fuck out of there. I don't like I don't know. I don't like Jalen Williams at the 4. I don't like the coach. Maybe it's the coach I don't like. In OKC, I don't like. Yeah, Giddey is a problem. Get Giddey out of there. I like Giddey as a pass first player, like his whole like ugly style that he plays. Like it's effective and it works. But if we got SGA and he's a motherfucker and he's undeniably the motherfucker, then we don't really need Giddey anymore. Giddey was an important piece when we didn't for sure have that ball dominant player, which sorry, but we do now. We have SGA. He's a ball dominant player. We don't really need the get other people involved guy anymore. Especially if he can't hit that corner 3 when he's wide fucking open. Especially when he's 6'8" and he can't guard anybody. It's like in every other way we can swing, we can switch, we can move, and then it gets to Gideon where he's a hole in our defense and a fucking useless weapon in our offense, dude. What's the point? SGA's that guy for real, he's that guy. So like now that we know that, it's like, dude, do we really need Giddey trying to get bringing the ball up the floor, trying to get people involved? I don't think we do. So that's kind of my whole thing. Also, now now Detroit, my boys, my Pistons, are starting to talk some stupid shit at the number 5 pick. They're starting to talk about some players that I don't want. I don't want these motherfuckers. I want Matas Bazelis. Matas Bazelis, you fucking idiots. Okay, what about the Spurs? The Spurs need a point guard like SGA. The Spurs need a ball dominant point guard that can run pick and roll with Wemby, and I don't think that Castle guy they have is it. That Castle guy can get his, and that's fine, but I don't think he can run a traditional pick and roll in the way that they would need it to be ran in order for Wemby to be at his most dangerous. And I do think they should pick up Trae Young, and I don't like Trae Young. I think he's a bum. I think he's wildly undersized. I think he's a broke man, Steph Curry, and I think he'll always be a liability defensively. But when you have a player that's such a fucking positive in the defensive fucking ledger, like Wembanyama, you can afford to have at least one guy that's a negative in that same column. You know what I'm saying? So I think a trade from Atlanta, which I think is trying to move Trae Young this summer. I think there's going to be a real chance that they move Trae Young this summer. If they do, I think San Antonio should be super enthusiastic about getting Trae Young. Just because whatever negatives he has defensively, Wemby can make up for in that column. And then a pick and roll with Wemby and Trae Young would be dumb. It would be dumb. Because it could be a cut for Wemby, it could be a step out 3 for Wemby, it could be teardrop, it could be alley-oop for Trae Young, it could be teardrop for Trae Young, it could be step back for the 3 for Trae Young. It would be near impossible to guard that switch. You can't switch on him, you can't fucking show and recover, you can't, like, there's the two people guarding that pick and roll between a Wemby and a Trae Young, especially with the way refs blow the whistles for Trae, with any contact, any actual fighting under the screen, bro, it would be dumb. It would be so dumb. And again, I'm not sure I even like Wemby. I mean, he's pretty undeniable, but like, I'm not even sure I like Wemby. But like, a Trae Young Wemby pick and roll, stop it. Stop it. That would be wild. Plus, if you get Trey Young out of Atlanta, I could really start to like low key pay attention to Atlanta a little bit because Jamal Murray and fucking is it Jamal Murray? Is that his name? The other point guard that's over there. Murray and those boys and Hunter and those boys play a grimy brand of basketball that's like low key kind of fun if you get the Trey Young out of there. I mean, they're not winning anything, but they're like, they could start moving towards being, changing the identity over there in Atlanta, which for the last few years has been Trey Young or bust, which is like, we know how that's going to end. Trey Young's a Robin, he's not a Batman. You know what I'm saying? Wemby's a Batman. There'd be no question of that if he played in a place like San Antonio with a Wemby. It's like, clearly Wemby's the Batman. I think it could be very interesting. And that makes Atlanta more fun to watch. That makes San Antonio more fun to watch. Matas Bazelis, dude. Bazelis? I don't know. Matas Bazelis or some shit is his name. He's gonna be that dude. Wemby's a Batman, undeniably. Yeah. So the thing about it is, they have that Castle, what's his name? Vassell kid playing point over there, and he puts points up. Oh my God, how's that not a block? What are we doing? He puts points up, but he's not going to run a traditional pick and roll with Wemby, or at least a potent pick and roll with Wemby. He's not a natural pick and roll guy. He's a clear out and let me ISO guy. Like, that's how he likes to play ball, that kid they have over there right now. He's a young kid, got an upside like crazy. He's probably going to be very, very good, but he doesn't want to pick and roll. Wemby needs a pick and roll point. That's what he needs. He needs that motherfucker that loves pick and roll, that's good at pick and roll, that has spent his entire lifetime relying on pick and rolls. Case in point, Trey Young. I like Shoban. Who is your most disliked player on that team? Or Sochan, what's his name? The fucking Dennis Rodman clone? Is that what you're talking about? My most disliked player in San Antonio. I'd have to really think about it. I don't watch a ton of San Antonio games. So I'd probably have to think about that a little bit. It might be that kid Vassell or whatever you guys have at point. Just because he's not doing he's not playing pick and roll. Like, he's quick to run down the floor and throw up a three. He's quick to he's quick to ISO and clear everybody out and go one on one. Like, it's like, what are you doing? I think it might be that guy. Just because the way, and it's not his fault. That's just the way he plays ball. Probably came up an AAU kid. That's just the way he plays ball. But like, the way he does it bothers me because it's not the way to get the most out of a Wemby. Sochan also bugs me a little bit because what does he do? Like, they have him bringing the ball up sometimes because they're so afraid to put the ball in that Vassell, Castle, whatever the fuck kid's hands because Sohan? Oh, okay. Yeah. That Sohan kid, I like his energy, I like his game, but I don't like him bringing the ball up, which for whatever reason they have him doing sometimes in San Antonio, I've noticed. I think a lot of that is them just Popovich trying to get the ball out of ISO boys' hands. I don't know. I don't follow as much San Antonio as I should, probably. I also think San Antonio needs that wing. They need that wing score. They don't have a wing score. Dude, San Antonio could do a lot with a Matas Bazelis, actually, to be honest with you. But they don't get him. At number 5, he's going to Detroit at number 5. Detroit, we need to get Matas Bazelis, bro. I need to start sending some emails, dude. Get our fucking leafletting campaign started. We want Bazelis, bro. Matas Bazelis, dude. His game is like cute and pretty. We don't have any cute and pretty in Detroit. All we got's grimy boys, dude. All we got's fucking bully boys, dude. We don't need any more bully boys, dude. We need. I get it. We're Detroit. We're tough. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get that. But like, what we really need is like a pretty boy, dude, that can step out and shoot. He can put his shoulder down like Paul George. That's all that. We make those. Let's go. Bro, I want to watch highlights of Bazelis. How do you feel about the Suns? I feel like that new owner ruined that team for his. I feel like he's going to waste Booker's prime. Even though I'm not even a huge Booker guy, I don't know why. I think it's the whole Kardashian thing. I mean, he's undeniable. Booker's undeniable, but like at the same time, is he? I mean, he's undeniable, but at the same time, is he? What has he done? Like, what has Booker actually done other than piss off really popular stars and made them go crazy on him in the playoffs? Time after time after time after time. He had like one 71-point game. Other than that, what has he done? I don't think a lot about the Suns. Detroit needs a Gordon Hayward? No. Detroit needs a four that can shoot the ball. Besides Beef Stew. They need to get off Beef Stew. And he's a Husky, so I feel terrible saying that, but like, because, I'm up here in Washington State. Like, I'm a long distance Detroit Pistons fan. I'm not in Detroit or anything. But like, we need to move off of Beef Stew. We have the Jalen Duren. Duren's a motherfucker. He's a beast. What we need is a finesse pretty boy four, which would be Matas Bazelis. We can draft him, number 5. We could draft him, white boy, European. Got Dirk Nowitzki meets Paul George kind of a game. Not afraid to attack the rim, runs like a deer as well. Doesn't have Dirk's bad legs. But like, has a Dirk Nowitzki, Paul George-esque kind of a game. 6'10", 6'11", not a big kid, pretty skinny, but like a beautiful game. Has a beautiful game. Like pretty basketball. It's what we need. We got enough young brothers that can grind and fucking play gutter defense and bully ball, and we got all of that. We got a surplus of that. What we don't have is that motherfucker, that pretty player, dude. That get a whistle kid. That fucking step out to 30 feet splash kid. The catch and shoot kid. That, mid-range kid. Other than Cade. Cade does that, but he does that to excess, to the point where it's like, okay, bro. He does that so much that it's almost, to a detriment that he does that. We need Matas Bazelis, dude. I'm adamant about it. Whoever gets that kid, hopefully it's a team that'll use him correctly. I think if we got him in Detroit, I think he'd be the kind of guy that Monty Williams or whatever would be able to do something with. I think Monty Williams wants to get up and down and play fast, but we're missing a couple pieces to play that way. Duren needs to be a step quicker, and Stewart lumbers up and down the floor. We play like old school basketball in Detroit because we have to. Personnel wise, we have to. I'm saying let's move some personnel. All Ivy has ever wanted to do his entire career is run. All Thompson has ever wanted to do his entire career is run. Cade can stand to be a step faster. I think that has more to do with him getting a hamburger in him than it does anything else. The kid's a vegan, and you know how that works out. Well, you can make up all your proteins in pills. Yeah, you can, or you can just have a fucking steak, dude, and start running like a man instead of lightfooting it out there like a pussy boy. Anyways, we're about to pay Cade an unreasonable amount of money. It's like, dude, I mean, that's what I'm seeing from the Pistons sites that I follow on Instagram. They're like, it sounds like he's going to get the max deal, the max extension. So we're stuck with Cade for the long term. I need to make my peace with that. I personally think we can move off of Cade Cunningham for starters. I know that's not the right thing to say as a Pistons fan, but I'm not convinced he's him. At least not at point. I don't think at point guard he's him. And it's pretty clear that he wants to play point. He's a point guard. He's like, for all intents and purposes, he's a point. Even though you could probably play the 2 or the 3 and be more effective, but whatever. Matas Bazelis, Matas. Telling you. I'm telling you. And I've said it before. I've got a long history on this YouTube channel. I've been doing this a while of predictions, basketball predictions. Sometimes I'm wrong. I was pretty high on Thon Maker when he came out. He never really did anything. I was very high on Tyler Hero though, and he's a motherfucker, bro. I was very high on. I'm trying to think of other guys. I knew about Luka Doncic before Luka Doncic came out. I was very high on Josh Giddey. I was worried about Josh Giddey, actually, to be fair. I was like, he's a little too cute. He's a little too cute. That's the kind of pick that guy. My initial report on him was, that's the kind of guy you pick up when you have like 30 draft picks in the next 5 drafts. That's the kind of guy you grab because you're like, we can throw one away on this weird kid that plays odd. I was head of the game on. I'm trying to think of other guys I was head of the game on. Oh, Mac McClung. I liked Mac McClung out of high school. I was like, he's a leaper. I don't think he's ever going to be able to be a traditional point guard, but like, kid can jump. I've known kid could jump. When he was in the dunk contest finally, I was like, oh, you guys are all in for a treat. This kid can leap. I've been watching that kid jump since high school, dude. He beat Allen Iverson's all-time scoring record, high school scoring record, dude, in Virginia or whatever. And I was like, oh, dude, this McClung kid's a bucket. It's never really translated to the pros. I guess he's doing really good in the G League, but like, I keep my eye on it, bro. I know who's who, dude. I'm telling you, I have a pretty good track record. Matas Bazelis, dude. He'll be there for us at 5, according to most of the things I'm seeing. Damn it. I blocked that. Let's go. How many blocks do I have? 5? Let's go. Dude, I'm having a great game. Just rambling, talking basketball. I love it. I should do more quick recordings like this because, by the way, when this game ends, I'm going to be quick to end the recording because I got to jump over to the basketball game. It's going to start in 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Normally, I'd be doing this, talking this mess while I'm watching the NBA Finals game, guys, but I have, like, family coming over tonight. So, as you guys can see behind me, that's my front door, and I wouldn't want them to just walk in and be on the internet. That's not fair to them. So, in lieu of the long form, like, single cam like this, of me like watching the basketball game, which is what I was going to do tonight. Like, we're going to watch the finals game. In lieu of this, because that's my front door right back there. We're just doing a quick basketball game tonight. A little 2K game, get a little VC, and then I'm gonna watch the NBA finals. And when my parents show up, they show up. I love basketball. Bro, I could talk for fucking hours about things I love. Professional basketball, fight sports, MMA, boxing, that sort of stuff, love it. Video games, love it. Comics, to a degree, love it. That's about it, though. I got almost nothing to say about any other topic. It's like I have a lot of thoughts, bro. Basketball's in a really good place right now, dude. Like, it's actually in a really good place. Like, LeBron's about to be done. I think our U.S. team might be in trouble this summer. I know we got the super team, but we got the super team of like 40-year-olds. I'm a little worried we didn't get enough young talent on our roster for the USA basketball team for the next Olympics, but I'm sure we'll be fine. We got Steph and LeBron and the boys, but like, and Durant, whatever, and I mean, the shock value of that kind of a stacked roster we're gonna be fine, I'm sure. But like, there's a part of me that worries that the league has caught up. I mean, we don't win FIBA anymore. We don't win the FIBA Cup anymore. Like, we got smacked by, we didn't even make the medals, I don't think. Or maybe we got, like, a bronze. Like, Germany won the FIBA games the other summer. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we... I feel like it's safe to say the world's caught up a little bit, like, at least basketball-wise. Which is wild. It's good for the game, in overall, but I don't like that the USA basketball doesn't just absolutely smack the world. They need to smack the world. It's our sport, dude. Like we came up with the damn sport, dude. And don't give me any of that James Naismith's Canadian bullshit. I don't want to hear that nonsense. He was in Indiana when he made up the fucking game, so like stop it. But yeah, I can speak about like three or four things. That's about it. Plus, I'm just legit in a good mood because my parents are coming over. They live out of state, so they don't get into town very often. I don't get to see my family very often, you know. So I'm just pretty excited. I get to watch basketball tonight. My family's gonna stop by. Get to hug my father for the first time in a year. The Neil is a good hugger, so I don't know. I guess this is Thunder Nick in a good mood. Long story short. Hopefully they'll be good with the basketball game being on because I want to do both. I want to like catch up with mom and dad, but then also watch the basketball game. And then they're going to like the Cheesecake Factory or something for somebody's like one of mom or dad's friends' birthdays. I mean they're old as shit, so like birthdays are a big deal when you're like in your 70s and shit. But that's a dunk. Go get one. Oh come on, Thompson, go up and get a dunk. But like, I guess they're going to the Cheesecake Factory. I hope they buy me something at the Cheesecake Factory. You bro, bake me home some fucking spaghetti. That'd be sick. Some spaghetti with a sausage in it or something. That'd be bomb, dude. Least they could do is bring me bring me a nice treat from the fucking dinner they went to. You know what I mean? All I got at the house is fucking eggs and top ramen, dude. If I gotta do top ramen for dinner, that's gonna be a bummer, bro. Blocked. Give me that. Oh yeah. Well, when I'm not paying attention, I play much better. You should have seen me back when I was a pothead. I was great at 2K when I was a stoner. Because I was like half, when you're ripped out of your head, you're like half paying attention. The Rockets are hanging around though, dude. Like they shouldn't have 80 points. That's crazy. Are you kidding me? That should have been a block. Triple double. Let's go. Yeah, so I anticipate this will be an absolute shelling. My prediction for tonight, basketball wise, is the Celtics are going to have their best 3 point shooting night of the series, and they're going to be it's going to be over by halftime. And the announcers and the studio staff and stuff are going to have a hard time figuring out what to say. They're going to be like, well, so yeah, maybe Dallas can turn it around in the second half. It's going to be over by halftime, is my prediction. Because in the same way that Boston is prone to have that one bad shooting game each series, they have that one good shooting game each series too, and I don't think they've had that yet. So I think tonight might be the night where Boston just absolutely shells them from 30 feet. Just Derek White's hitting, Holiday's hitting, Tatum's hitting, Brown's hitting, just everybody's just splashing threes. That's my prediction. That was a rim run, and they just didn't give it to me, bro. That's bullshit. always, anyways, cheers, mate. Y'all definitely made me. Hey, $10 dono, bro. That's I appreciate that, dude. That's their first super chat donation on the live stream. What? You never donated before, Buggin'. I appreciate that, my dude. Is that not gonna pop up on the screen? Pop up on the screen. What the hell? It's not popping up on the screen. That is very generous, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Why is that not popping on the screen, bro? Bro, that's supposed to pop up. Your generosity is supposed to pop up like this. Hold on. Where is it? The fuck? Dude, that's crazy, bro. How it didn't. Oh, there it was. Did it just pop up on the screen or no? Because there's the Streamlabs acknowledging that you did it right there, like 2 messages later. Did it pop up on the screen? Did I miss it? Fuck. Well, anyways, that's what it looks like when you donate. Damn it, I have a whole thing. I have Lieutenant Dan on the top of the ship going, you call that a storm? Like, I have this whole thing that pops up and it's the whole bells and whistles on the screen. It's so cool. Ah, did I miss it? I missed it. Let's do it again. Let's run it again. Watch this. Dude, it's not popping up. The fuck? Bro. No. That's horrible, dude. Oh, that bums me out, bro. I'm sorry, dude. Ah, that sucks. Dude. Why the fuck? Wait, did it pop up that time? Enjoy your day with your family. I'm out of here. Hey, take it easy, Buggin'. I appreciate you, brother. What the? Why the fuck, bro? That's horrible, dude. I want people to feel like Anyways, all right, I'll leave it there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Buggin' for the $10 dono. That was really appreciated. Follow me on Instagram, Team G Thunder Nick. I'm out of here. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bro, my alerts aren't popping. I got to figure that out. I'm going to figure that out. I promise you I'll figure that out. For now, I'm